lost. In Austin, I saw, pause, my eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raining and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. Dreams in paradise. Truth is what you can see.
Boom. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I am your host, Matt Clark. And man, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I had a fantastic Thanksgiving, ate a lot, slept a lot, watched so many great games in football, F-U-T-B-O-L, and in football, F-O-O-T-B-A-L-L. And then, of course, there was some basketball mixed in there, but just what a great day, starting with Thursday and then going all the way through. And we took the time off, and then, of course, the Thunder played. And I just took a few days off because it's been a while since I was sick. Remember, I was sick for a while, so I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm healthy. I'm going to go enjoy the Thanksgiving weekend along with everybody else, and that's pretty much what I did. And plus, we were supposed to go to Dallas, so a lot of my plans kind of flip-flopped around there, but I ended up staying home and just hanging out with my people and just drinking and enjoying my weekend. So it's time to get back to work, and it's time for us to get some breakdowns of what's all happening, what happened this past weekend. And if you are a sports fan like me, boy, you enjoyed the weekend, didn't you? I mean, starting with Thursday with the three NFL games, and then, of course, the USA and England on Friday. What a great match that was. People were all over the place watching it, and it was just crazy supporting our team. In fact, tomorrow, and we'll talk about this later, but we have a huge match against Iran, and we've got to have a win. So, because it's basically, if we don't win, we go home. We win, we're in. It's that simple. It's not complicated to figure it out. But that being said, there is a Thunder game tonight. We play against the Pelicans, and so that's going to be an interesting game for us. We don't really match up that well with them because, you know, especially with Zion, nobody really matches up with Zion. But the Thunder are 8-12. We won our last game. But, you know, the Thunder is this. We're one of those weird teams. Or we lost to Houston, I'm sorry, on Sunday. Won a back-to-back. But the Thunder are one of those weird, or Saturday, they're one of those weird teams. We're one of these weird teams where we're young, and I believe that we are basically six deep. We have SGA, we have Giddey, we have Dort, now we have J-Dub, and I'm just going to admit this, Poku has really jumped up there well. Wiggins is one of my favorite guys, and then I think Robinson Earl is right there on that cusp. So to me, there's seven. And then you have everybody else. And the other one would be Trey Mann, if he can, we just figure out ever since he had that breakout night where, I don't know if you call it breakout, but the night that he shot 24 times, he hasn't been the same guy. And I don't know if the Thunder, set him down and said, hey, you're not going to take more shots than SGA. So, but anyway, we need Trey back in some sort of confidence, him having confidence and realizing, hey, there's a limit to what you can do. But we saw that in Summer League, him coming out, just taking all those shots. And I'm wondering, what are you doing, bro? And when you shoot more times than the best player on your team, that can't happen. But anyway, you have the Pelicans tonight. We're 8-12. They are 11-8. And Zion is playing. He's just a matchup problem for anybody, especially a team like ours, because we don't really have anybody physically that can keep up with him, other than probably Omen. He's probably the only guy physically, body wise, that could probably handle him. But we know Herb Wiggins can't. We know that Kendrick Williams can't. Wiggins can't. We know Jeremiah Earl can't. Well, I mean, these guys just physically, they don't have the body to match up with him. So if that's the case, that's who I would. That's going to be the problem for us. Now that being said, the keys to the game are very simple for the Thunder. We have to get off to a good start, and these two keys I'm going to have every time because we have to get off to good starts in the quarters. And the second thing, we have to limit the open looks from teams. Those are to me the two things that every game that you can't. Those are two musts for us. Those are two keys that are musts for the Thunder. Get off to a good start every quarter and limit open looks by other teams. Because when you limit open looks by other teams, that equal long shots, and long shots equal long rebounds, which equal transitional points, which equal jump shots, gets us getting into a rhythm offensively, which allows us to shoot much better from the three. For us going 10 for 39, 10 for 40, we're not built to shoot that many threes. And against Houston, we shot those threes and we were just terrible. And we're not a good three-point shooting team. We're just not. But anyway, limit the open looks, get your hand in face so we can get out in transition, get into a form, get into the flow. Then it's easier for us to shoot threes. Be patient on offense. Slow the ball down. Understand what your positioning is. If you catch the ball at the free throw line wide open, Poku, shoot it. SGA is going to do what SGA does. Attack the paint, shoot that mid-range jump shot, kick it out. Be ready to cut to the basket. If you cut to the basket, he's a good passer. So is Josh Giddey. He has to do the same thing, even though I like the fact that Josh is working on his shot. And I don't care who you are, it takes you a year and a half for you to change your shot and for it to become good again. It is what it is. And then we have to be able to control the paint. And by that, I mean we have to keep those guys out of the middle. We can't just let them just bully us down low and just do whatever they want. We have to keep them on the perimeter. We have to limit what they can do offensively inside and out, because if we allow them to get in the flow and they start banging us inside and then they get to going outside with McCollum, we just can't have that. We just can't have it. So we're going to be very good on defense, and we're going to have to control the paint. And I believe if we can do those four things, I think we have a very good opportunity, a very good chance tonight to do something on the road against New Orleans. And I think we do have the team and we do have the players to be able to accomplish that. Now, that being said, in the NBA, there were some games last night, and everybody's like, why are you doing NBA? Because I'm a basketball player. That's why we're doing NBA. Chill out. We're going to get to all these other sports. And by the way, we are pretty much the only program that does all the sports. We do football, we do basketball, which they all do, but primarily everybody wants to hear about OU and OSU. And you got to be deeper than that as a state. You have to be able to come up with other things and see other sports and be able to be more well-rounded. Because I think if you can do that, that makes a huge difference. Now, NBA scores. Last night, the Blazers last night lost to the Nets. The Nets now improving to 10-11, beating the Blazers 111-97, and of course the Blazers falling to 11-9. So, the Nets are slowly getting there. Jacques Vaughn doing an excellent job of putting that team into the right position. That's the best way I can say it. They're loaded with talent with KD and Kyrie, but they are a mess, and I think Jacques Vaughn is doing an excellent job in molding them together and giving them to work as a team. Golden State Warriors over the T-Wolves last night, 137-114. Golden State seems to be getting their act together. And with Steph Curry coming on and Klay Thompson, who everybody, including myself, is kind of like he's done. And he's not, but, it's going to take him a while to really come back from that injury because, he basically didn't play for 2 years in reality. He really didn't. So it's interesting to see what he can continue to play. But you can see now they do have a winning record. They are 11-10. The Wolves, if you want to drop to 10-10. Not bad for them. The Pacers and the Clippers, like they're on a nice little roll here. Now improving themselves to 12-9. The Pacers are falling to 11-8. I've never been that big of an Indiana Pacers fan. Anyway, didn't really have them up in my hierarchy. And in fact, I'll do my NBA power rankings next after this. The Heat and the Hawks. The Heat slowly are pulling up, slowly but surely. But then they have the Hawks number. They know what to do with Trey. They just beat him up and be physical with him, make other guys do stuff, get Trey out of the flow. That's what they do with the Hawks. The Sixers and the Magic. Sixers 11-9, creeping back, slowly creeping. And as you'll see, as the season goes on, the good teams will slowly start getting better. The teams that aren't that good will be and reveal their true selves. So the Magic 5-15, the Sixers 11-9, killing them by 30 in Orlando. Shocker, in Orlando. Cavs, Pistons, pesky Cavaliers. I told Drew at the beginning of the year, my guy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com, I told him about this in the very beginning. The Cavs, Donovan Mitchell is going to make a difference. They're now 13-7, beating the Pistons 102-94. The Pistons are just young. They are just trying to figure it out. I mean, they're like the Thunder, except they don't have an SGA, and then they have Giddies is what they've got with Caleb or with Cade and with Jay Knight. They've got Joshes. They've got Josh Giddies getting better, understanding what they are. Even though Cade is better than Josh, by not much, but he is better than Josh, and that's what they're doing, getting better and better when it comes to that. But they don't have an SGA, which we do, thank God. Wizards, Celtics. Thank you, Chris Paul, by the way. That was in the Chris Paul trade that we got him. The Chris Paul trade, that's where we got him. Or was it, no, it was Chris Paul trade. Wizards, Celtics, 121. The Celtics are just rolling, 16-4, even though we should have beat them. I'm still not a fan of what happened in that game. If you go back and you'll look at my past After the Storm live streams, you can go to www.mcsportsnetwork.com. That's www.mcsportsnetwork.com and go back and look at that, and you can see what I was talking about with the Wizards and the Celtics, how we should have beat Boston. That was coach's thing. Grizzlies and Knicks. The Grizzlies 12-8. Knicks 9-11. Knicks, boy, they're athletic. They're long. They're just in search of that one guy. I think in the NBA, you got to have that one guy that you know can go get your points and they can do what you need to do. So Knicks are in search of that. They're winning by committee, plus Tom Thibodeau is a great coach, even though he has given up a lot of points defensively. But this is the new NBA, not the old NBA. The Grizz handled them 127-123. Then last but not least, Mavs and the Bucks. The Bucks are rolling 14-5, and they're just right there on the heels of the Celtics. Celtics 16-4, Bucks 14-5. Once again, we got robbed by the officials in that home victory, loss to the Bucks in overtime. That was just ridiculous. Still don't know how in the world you make that call. That's just crazy. You let the game play out. He wasn't going to catch it. He wasn't going to do anything. But again, you do want the Bucks over the Thunder. So that being said, Mavs 121, Bucks 130. The Bucks improving to 14-5. And then when we do our power rankings for this, you got the Bucks, you got the Suns, you got the Cavaliers, you have the Jazz still rolling. If I have to redo it, which I will be, normally I don't pop them out. I usually redo all my stuff on Tuesday. And I'll come back and have a different one on Tuesday because the Celtics should be number one, even though I don't know if they could truly beat the Bucks fully loaded. We shall see. The Nuggets, I still have on the Grizzlies. I like that. The Blazers would fall out. The Mavs would fall out, and then the Hawks. And then Drew is, by the way, everybody be praying for my guy Drew. giving him his family wishes. Drew is sick right now. Is all that hard running, being out of town in San Diego. That's what he gets for sending pics of himself on the beach, rolling around with the drop top, having fun, teasing all of us while we're back here freezing. You know, that payback on him, my boy. Uh, no, I'm just kidding. Get better, Drew. But anyway, we'll get his power rankings and get all that, and we'll redo and update them mañana. NBA tonight, you've got the Hawks and the Sixers, which they're both 11-9, so that'll be interesting to see how that works out. Wolves, Wizards, both of them 10-10. How often is that when you see 10-10? And you know what 10-10 is? My birthday. That's my birthday. Magic 5-15 against the Nets. I think the Nets will now be 11-11 after that, but you never know how that's going to work out because this is the NBA. The Hornets and the Celtics, I'm pretty sure that the Celtics will get another W and improve to 17-4. The Hornets are they're just a mess. I mean, they really are. So people are like, well, why are they still there? Because people in North Carolina or in the Carolinas love sports. And you're one of 30 teams. Why the hell would you want to get rid of your NBA team? Whether you're winning or losing is irrelevant. You have an NBA franchise. You get to see all the great players who play in the NBA at least once a year. Why would you not want to go to the games? That makes no sense to me. Cavs, Raptors, Cavaliers 13-7 against the Raptors. The Raptors to me are a scary team, and when Siakam gets back into being full 100% mode, they are a scary, scary team. Those Toronto Raptors, but I think the Cavs in Toronto should handle their business. Thunder, of course, we already talked about the Thunder and the Pelicans tonight. Thunder are 8-12. Pelicans are 11-8, and then after that you have the Bulls 8-11 versus the Jazz 12-10. That ought to be fantastic. I look forward to watching that, see how that plays out. You got the Rockets and the Nuggets. Rockets 5-14 against the Nuggets 12-7. That should be really interesting. How both of those teams are done. It should be. I'm excited to see what's going to be happening. That's one of those games where I like what the Rockets have there. The Nuggets should handle their business, but I like what the Rockets are trying to do there in Houston. Suns and the Kings. The Kings have been extremely hot. The Suns are still to me, one of the top 3 to 4 best teams in the league. Kings are coming. They're playing really well together. But in Sacramento, we shall see who is the most dominant team, whether it's the Suns can continue their stranglehold over the West, or whether the Kings are now coming up. Then, of course, the Pacers and the Lakers, 11-8 versus 7-11. I just don't have a lot to say about that. I'm just not very happy with the Lakers, but I will say this. The big fella has been playing well, which means Anthony Davis, even though he went out with a minor injury, shocker, and Anthony Davis is hurt once again. And it's just one of those things, I think, once you get hurt, you just get hurt. I think once you, like LeBron, he had never been hurt, and then he gets to L.A., pulls a groin, and he's just been hurt ever since. I think once you get hurt, it's a freak thing, and I think you just continue to get hurt, continue to get hurt. That's kind of how I see it, which may or may not be good. I don't know. But now let's get into American football. And we will be talking about the other football here in a minute. But right now we're talking about American football. And in the Big 12 this past weekend, I watched those of us that watched the OSU game. It's just so frustrating. It really is watching us. But when you have injuries and people go down, it's just hard. And then, our play calling with the coach we have, his play calling is his play calling. He does what he does, and we are who we are. And we're playing like the 2 and 3 star recruit team that we have been. But Gundy, like I've always said, he gets more out of the 2 and 3 star players than anybody I've ever seen as far as being able to coach the players up. He is absolutely amazing when it comes to stuff like that. So I've got to give my props to him for that. But after that, I can't really, I can't give him much love after that simply because I just, uh, I just can't give him any love after that. I really can't because of what he does. I'm sorry. That's all I can do. But anyway, football scores this week. Iowa State got smashed by TCU. I didn't necessarily think TCU had to score that last touchdown the way they did. I thought that was really rubbing it in. But, how do you tell these guys who don't get a chance to play and may not play again that's their one chance to shine in front of their parents and for them to score? So that's kind of a hard thing to do. Kansas State just put it on them. Man, I tell you what, that Kansas State team is scary, and them playing TCU, and we'll talk about that, the upcoming Big 12 game this weekend with those two playing in the Big 12 championship. And we're going to get more into this the rest of the rest of this week. We'll get into it tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll get into more and more about who's playing what this weekend. We'll have all the championship bowl games. We'll tell everybody where everybody should be. Pretty much is going to be determined what bowl we're going to. I'm hoping that Oklahoma State goes to Houston to play. That'd be fantastic for me because I'd love to go see my little dude again. OU 48, Texas Tech 51. Find a kicker. Dude, you got to make that point blank range. Got to make that kick, bro. Got to make that kick. OU loses in overtime to Texas Tech at Texas Tech, but Tech is one of those weird, scary teams. We talked about that last week about how scary they are. You got West Virginia and Oklahoma State. We just talked about that. West Virginia they're a scary team, but Oklahoma State should have handled their business in that game. And once again, had it, and then just did what OSU does. Baylor, 27, Texas, they're coming on slowly. Slowly but surely, Texas is playing well, getting back into the top 25, beating Baylor 38-27. I thought Baylor would give them a better game, but I think that loss to TCU just really took everything out of them. They should have won that game. And what I don't understand in that game is that if the other team is substituting, you can add another substitute, and the referee has to wait until all your guys are on there. So you could have brought in a sub, switched out a sub, a different guy late. You could have did whatever to waste some time, but they did not do that. Both teams ran out on the field, and I don't know what's worse, is that or him calling a timeout to ice the Texas Tech kicker and got the kick blocked. But again, that always happens. Every time a coach tries to get slick, I think it was last week, coach calls timeout, the guy misses the field goal, calls timeout, nigs it down the middle. OU game, gets the field goal blocked, and then what happens? He had called a timeout, and what happens? Knocks it down the second time around. So sometimes coaches outthink themselves. But that being said, the Big 12 championship is this Saturday, December the 3rd, 11 a.m., and it will be on ABC. Kansas State versus TCU Horned Frogs. And I got to get out shout out to my boy Billy with the pool shark. I mean, the dart shark that he is, and his TCU. I have to watch him in that hat. He was trying to convince me to put on the hat. I think it was whatever that was for started. I was like, bro, I'm not wearing a TCU hat. Just like Steve Owens. I'm never wearing a shirt that has OU on it. I mean, never. I ain't going to say never, but I'm not wearing a shirt that has OU. I mean, it has to be extraordinary circumstances for me to ever wear a shirt with OU on it. Extraordinary circumstances for that to ever happen. So in other words, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, it'd be different. I mean, like Charles Thompson, when your kid goes to a certain school, you got to do certain. I mean, you got to follow them. But that's your kid. That doesn't mean that you're not an alumni or whatever. But for that game, you're gonna do that, or for while he's playing for a certain team. If my grandson went to OU, yeah, I'm gonna wear stuff for him because if he asks me to, I'll do it for him. But in the OSU OU, not wearing red, not wearing OU, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen under any circumstances. Son, he'd have to be playing uh, for them. But anyway, the championship game ought to be a good one. You can see. Let me see. I had it on there. Let me pull it back up. Uh, when I was looking at that game and who's favored, I don't know who's going to be favored in the chat. We don't know yet who's going to be favored in that game as of yet. But my guess is it will be TCU. The Horned Frogs will be a favorite. I think it'll be close. I think Kansas State wants a little revenge factor against them because they will be playing on a neutral field this time and not be playing at TCU. So we'll see who the Horned Frogs truly are. That being said, let's go ahead and take a quick break. I want to thank Collaborative Logic and all the things that they do. They're fantastic. If you need some streamlining in your office or if you need your office runs smooth. They can work custom software for you. They can also do website designs and do different things to help you make money and help you become more efficient in your office, as well as adding computers or monitors or whatever. They're very, very good at that. You can talk to my boy Russell Willifort, and he'll be able to hook you up. SRB, if you have any engineering, surveying, or planning, my guy Mark Long over there is the dude to talk to. He can help you out and make sure that you guys everything is running smoothly for you because they love to be behind the scenes. If you're building a building or some sort of complex, they are the perfect people to make sure everything runs smoothly. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro, my dude over there. If you got any needs for him, hook him up. He'd be more than happy to remove any rocks and gravel or dirt, anything like that. Greg and Max Nafy at Nafco, they are the people to talk to over there, and they just do a bunch of stuff. They're just a bunch of stuff. Good dudes, both of them. One of my brothers and my nephew. And then last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are truly the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, and they are remote live stream sponsors for us to go out and promote black, minority, and women-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. And we appreciate everything they do. And then by that, you can also go online and pre-qualify for any personal cars, boats, any things like that, or business. If you want to buy buildings or you want to buy property, you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Those are the people to talk to, or you'll be able to go in and holler at. And by the way, we'll be there Wednesday, and you can holler at our guy Nathan Taylor or Joe Horn or my boy Carson Wright. That's what I'm going to do. I don't do like Drew and pop out from the time you go see his mama. I don't say that because I'm scared of his mama. She has to tell me yes. That's cool. I ain't doing it, and that's how that is. And I'd like to welcome my guy Ben Dillman. What's up, Ben?
Hey, brother, how we doing?
We're doing good, my friend. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good out here in Texas right now. Actually got my Grove shirt on right now.
Oh, that's right. Y'all went out of town, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Out here, Kylie's doing some work. I decided just to do a little staycation and hang out with her, so I'm just cruising around.
A little staycation. I love it. Yeah, how's everything? Is it warm down there? Is it smoky? What is it? It's kind of nice
Man,
here.
it was cold as shit down here. I just got out of the hot tub not too long ago. Brought her some lunch. I've been legit doing it up, staycation, the
Oh
whole thing.
man,
But it's colder than crap down here.
Oh man, now you guys gonna be there a couple of days, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll be down here for 3 days. We'll come back Tuesday. She's launching a new website for her company and stuff, so I'm just kind of hanging out. And then we'll be back next week down here again the same time.
Oh, that's why you can do all that stuff now with the computer, because your wife can do it.
Figuring it out, yeah, she's teaching me.
That's what it is. So now we know how it is. Now we know how it
Exactly.
is.
Exactly.
Well, here's Drew's picks. You can help us go over him. He's taking the Lakers -3.
Oof.
And I'm like, okay, bro, if you say so. I don't know about that one, but I won't watch that game. That's the game I'm going to miss. I'll be watching Monday Night Football, I'm sure. Timberwolves +1, and Pelicans -5. He's taking them. He thinks that they're going to beat our Thunder by 5 or more. We shall see. I think that game may be a little closer than what they're saying, but that's the Thunder. If they can just, if the coach can just start with the right lineups in games and not give away 8 to 10 points, a game we
Oh
would
yeah,
have a better record, but that's just me.
that's we get the cold start. We get the cold feet in the beginning usually.
Yep, it drives me nuts. Steelers and Colts. Man, he's taking the over 39 and a half, and he's
Oh,
taking the Colts. I don't know how the hell the Colts are favored by -2. Are you serious? Even though they are at home.
it's just the Jeff Saturday change, I think, and I mean, I love Mike Tomlin. I do not want him to, go into. He's never had a season where he's
A
had
losing
under
season.
500 in
Yep.
wins.
Never had a
Yeah,
losing
so
season.
I'd love for him to win one here, but I do love Jeff Saturday. These are probably my two favorite coaches besides MCDC in the league. But yeah, I mean, the Colts are favored. I don't know why, and I don't know the over of 39 and a half. That also scares me. Both of them scare me.
Yeah, that drive, dude. I have 2 pictures of you on the screen for some reason.
Are you good?
What in the heck is going on? I don't like that at all. That's technical difficulties. I should have checked it before, but that's
All
crazy.
good.
I don't know. It'll be fine. I'll fix it tomorrow. I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, I
Yep.
just think Jeff Saturday is a good story. I'm like a lot of these other guys, though. I think there's so many guys who work their butts off, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just give a guy who can just come off the street, never have any coaching, and by all rights,
Well,
if the guy from if the Raiders could catch the damn football, he would be 0-2 instead of 1-1. So
yep, and the one thing though I do like is just that this might open the door for more players down the road to become coaches. So most of those players they don't want to do all the like you said, all the guys that have worked their butt off for the last 20, 30 years doing all this stuff, coaching and doing everything. They're getting passed up by these guys, but I do like having coaches in the league that are ex players. I think that's good for the locker. I think it's just good for the sport in general. And I think it's good for the whole Rooney Rule. I think that would be great. I think it might open up some doors for some guys
well, I don't
that don't
believe now
want
that
to.
I don't believe.
I think it might help. We'll see
Nah,
though.
that ain't that the Rooney Rule. The, what did he say? The Rooney. He goes, What about the Rooney Rule?" And his words to a T were, "Well, I don't have to worry about that because of the situation. Because if it's an interim deal, and what they do is black coaches do get Lovie Smith, people like that. They
Yeah,
get an interim job when you know that you're not gonna. That's not a real job. You're
and they
not.
won't rehire you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not gonna
just kind
rehire you. You're just there as a
of.
stopgap, and then to say they had a black coach. So I don't think
I
that.
think I just think this might open up the door for some new guys
Now
to
that yes.
that weren't going to coach. Maybe they will go coach now. Like different little things like that. I think that'd be good though.
Yeah, but my deal is you ain't had no experience. You were a high school
Nope,
losing to high
zero.
school, and you lose to a high school teams. You're basically coming in there and you're the head coach, and these guys who are already there are basically still doing what they're doing, and all you can really say is rah
Well,
rah rah.
yeah, they fired a few guys too, so he pretty much has nothing to work with. He's
Yes,
got and then I don't know. It's kind of hard to respect him at that point. Like if you're underneath
I'm
him.
just
But
to me,
also,
Ben. I understand. Ursay is Ursay. Okay,
yep.
he's Ursay. Everybody forgets that his dad moved them in the middle of the night
Uh huh.
from
That's
Baltimore. The
Well,
middle
that's pretty much what happened. He
of the
called
night.
Jeff Saturday at halftime the week before he got that job. They talked at halftime on the phone, and he literally before halftime was over, he already knew he was going to hire him.
Yeah, he did.
So
And Jeff
same thing.
Saturday just wanted the job, and he wanted to be a head coach. That's why he did it. Okay,
But damn, does he have pretty eyes?
Well, I don't know
Jeez,
about all that.
he has
I
some
don't know
good
about
looking eyes,
I don't know
man.
about all that, bro. I ain't looked at him. If you're in a woman, I don't really look
You'll,
at you hard enough to get.
you'll see his
Now,
baby blue eyes. You'll be like, "Holy crap,
no,
that guy!"
I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. But I will say this though, B is that if a guy's a pretty man, like if you're a good looking dude, you're a good looking dude. Okay, I mean it is like Jimmy G was on the sidelines at the Warriors game, and you
I
see
saw
every
that.
one of the pom or every one of the they gave him the fist bump.
Legend.
All of them on a shocker, like, hey, you still single, huh? Hey, look at me, So I thought that was a good tribute to basically giving them the Warriors
Oh
because
yes.
that was done by the Warriors. I can promise you, those girls did not go over and do that without being told to do that.
Oh, 100%.
They didn't just
Well, they had to
they don't
ask
do
or
it.
something.
Yeah, they were told, hey, we're supporting you, Jimmy. Here you go. Because I mean, why wouldn't Golden State want them to win?
Oh,
You know
100%.
what I'm
And then
saying?
all of his buddies sitting around and we're all they were all bowing down to him after they all came and fist bumped him.
And why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G. And he's a great, other than him with the porn star, and I don't have no problem with that. Hey, with the
Yep.
stripper or whatever. I wish she was a stripper, I think.
Do you? Yeah, do you?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, she's cute.
I like steaks.
I'm like, hey, I'm not upset with it. I mean, hey, do your thing, bro. I ain't
Yep.
unhappy. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
Now, dude, college football games this weekend, man. God dang. There were some good games this weekend. Michigan, I did not see them spanking Ohio State the way that they
100%.
did. I mean, I figured I didn't think they when Blake Corum went down, I thought, dude, they're done. And no, McCarthy. And you know what? And I'll say this, Ben. I think that Michigan saved him throwing the long ball all year for this game.
Yep.
That's what I think. I think they didn't want to give them anything on tape to show them where he could throw the long ball. Well, he can't throw the long ball. He can't throw the long pass. He's not accurate. He's not accurate. And then all of a sudden, wow, he was pretty accurate. Looked
I
pretty
mean,
accurate to me.
they were right on the freaking button
Yeah,
every time. He just dropping them in buckets out there. It was insane.
yeah, it really was. I was really shocked. Then South Carolina, how about them? I'm not a Clemson fan. I thought they were so-so, and I've got to take DJ out of my top. However you say his name, I can't even say his name. But anyway, I got to take him out of my top 10 NFL quarterbacks. You know,
Yeah, I would say so. Sorry, I just had the cleaning lady come knock on the door. So I
no
was like, oh
problem,
crap.
no problem. 31-30 over Clemson at Clemson. I was like, wow, South Carolina handled their business. Great job. Once again, your boy Spencer Rattler. Of course, they'll get beat now because his head is, you can't be able to fit in the locker room now because his head will be so big after his performance. Oregon State. Did you get a chance to see that game?
I got to watch just a little bit of the highlights. The Oregon's. I did not realize that Oregon State was as pesky as they are. They're big, like they're a tough physical team. They really do like annoy the like. I don't know if you saw some of the antics on the sidelines and stuff, but it was
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
watched the
They were
game.
getting after it. Yeah, they were getting after it. It was fun. I liked watching that.
Yeah, all four of the games that I have, I watched all four of them. I had Michigan, Ohio State. I watched that. I had South Carolina, Clemson. I watched that. I had Oregon State. I watched that, and then I had Notre Dame, SC, and I watched that.
I
So,
didn't get to watch the Notre Dame SC game.
well, you were working.
Yeah, well, I followed Drew on the Trojans pick there, so thank you, Drew.
Did you get him on the Trojan pick?
Yes, sir.
But anyway, South Carolina or Oregon State. Oregon had them dead to rights, and then they let them up. And I tell people all day long, when you get your foot, like it was like the OU game. OU had them on the ropes until he threw the interception. And when Gabriel threw that interception, everything changed. Okay.
Yep, that's when you need a game manager. You need
Yep.
somebody that's just going to step in there and they're going to make they're going to slow it down. They're going to make sure all the boys' head are in it. They're going to just get the job done. That's what you need.
Yep.
And when you can't do that, that costs people jobs, money, costs a lot of things right there.
It's just like the Chiefs last year, up 21-3. Patrick Mahomes throws on fourth down, just kick the field goal. Go up 24-3, go into halftime. They didn't do it. Mahomes didn't convert on fourth down, threw a horrible pass, and then was just horrible the whole second half, and they came back and beat him. I said,
Yes,
so,
sir.
it only takes one play. Just when you get the ball rolling, I mean, I know you got Mahomes. I know you want to give him a chance. I know all that, but just kick the field goal. Let's just go on in. Let's not get greedy. Let's go and get the field goal, move on, and roll in, and we get the ball back the second half. So, but anyway, Oregon gave them a shot. They did it, and they came back and beat them. Same thing with OU. They should have won the game. Once again, giving up another big lead, which is just frustrating as hell if you're an OU fan, I'm sure. And then SC and Notre Dame. Caleb Williams, dude, he's unbelievable.
He's a weapon.
He's unbelievable.
He's a weapon.
He is unbelievable. And he needs
We'll see him on Sundays.
Yeah, you know what? He needs to thank Spencer Rattler. He really does.
Yes.
Because
Oh, yeah, he does.
no,
Yeah,
he does. Because if Spencer Rattler was not such an arrogant ass, okay, like he was, because everybody forgets those first few games, he was arrogant, wouldn't listen to Lincoln Riley, gets pulled in the Texas game. Caleb brings him back. Then all of a sudden, he's back starting, and all of a sudden, he was a completely different guy the last 7 games. He was unbelievable. Then all of a sudden, he's the Leeson Heisman winner or getter. He's this. So he's drinking, he's partying, he's got his cars. You can't tell him anything. And you could just see it. And Lincoln Riley was like, yeah, no. You sit down. We got somebody. And the best thing in the world could ever happen to Caleb was that. Best thing in the world. Because after that, Caleb has been a different guy. He's had 2 years under Riley in his system, and he's just unbelievable. Just
Yeah,
absolutely unbelievable.
nice little piece of that humble pie.
Yeah, it really is. And, I'm sorry about the guy, but it is what it is. Now, NFL scores. Did you watch any NFL yesterday? Get a chance to watch any? Were y'all rolling?
We were rolling, but I tried to keep up with some of it on my phone a little bit.
Yeah,
So
and
I got the gist of it.
okay. Well, on Thursday, it started out Thursday. Man, we had the Bills and the Lions. That was a better game than the Bills thought they were going to get. I can promise you
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't
Oh
see.
yeah.
And the Lions, man, I told Drew, I was like, man, or I told you, I think, whoever it was, I said, man, the Lions, man, they've been playing. They've won 4 in a row. They were going to give the Bills all they want. They were playing with tons of confidence at home, but of course, Josh Allen rose up and became the old Josh Allen and did
Yep.
what he needed to do for a 28-25 win. And then the Cowboys and the Giants, the poor Giants, they just
Yeah. Just one of those years for them.
yeah, it really
They'll
is.
never.
They started out good.
It just if this was any other year, they'd probably end up going like 10-7 or something, or 11-6 because of how bad the division usually is. But this they just can't. They can't win. Nothing they can do about it.
No, and I told Drew I think they were the worst 5-1 and 5-5 and whatever they were.
Yeah.
They weren't very good. Patriots and the Vikings. I tell you what, I told him, I said, man, everybody take the Vikings because of the simple fact that Cowboys embarrassed them. They were coming
Yep.
off a huge emotional win over the Bills, a game they should have lost. And so they were primed for an L, and primed for a victory against the Patriots, and I thought they would do that, and they did. Then, of course, Sunday, Bengals and Titans. Joe Burrow, his legend grows. They're now 7-4, tied with the Titans, and of course with the Ravens. Forgot their name.
Yep.
Like the Ravens. The Ravens got beat again.
I can't believe they
after
dropped
having a
that
loss.
game.
I'm like, and that wasn't on Lamar, but at the same time, dude, you missed a lot of wide open guys, man.
He was missing everything. I mean, now they're even on the AFC North now.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals are going to overtake them. Right? I mean, they've won 3 in a row. Like you said, Joey Burr, he's freaking just ice out there. He's ice cold out there.
And everybody talks about.
They got no Jamar Chase too, and they're
Now
just
Jamar, he'll be back. And this is what's so funny is they're talking about, oh, he had no Jamar Chase and he had no this, and I'm like, Mahomes didn't have his running back. He didn't have 3 of his wide receivers, and he still won. Why are you acting like when Joe Burrow does it, that's the most fantastic thing in the world?
Oh yeah.
And when Mahomes does it, it's no big deal. And I was telling somebody the other day, and I think a lot of people have to understand, we're so spoiled by him that our expectations of him are so freaking high.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that,
You're absolutely
it doesn't
correct.
matter if he's losing 5 guys. Like my deal is this: take Jamar Chase away from Joe Burrow in a couple years when Jamar is doing his thing, and then we'll see what Burrow does.
Yeah,
On a
because
consistent
he's
basis.
been with Jamar Chase out. T. Higgins has been just lighting it up, which is the only thing that's saving them. I think at this point, I think this last week he had like 7 receptions, 114 yards.
Well, but Ben, on top of that too, though, what's going to end up happening is,
yards and a touchdown or something like that. So he's carrying Jamar for too much longer. I'd love to see like you said how Joey
But see,
turns
the
out.
deal is this: you can't pay all 3 of them and Mixon.
Oof.
Remember, Joe Burrow's going to come up for his contract.
Yeah, they still got him on rookie deal, don't
Yep. So they all four. I think Burrow and Mixon are coming up
Cool.
next year, and
That's
then
gonna
the year
be
after
tough.
that you've got T. Higgins, and then the year after
Jamar
that you got
Chase.
Chase. You can't pay all of them. And Jamar Chase is going to want. We already know he's going to want Tyreek money. We
He's
already
going to
know
want
that.
Devontae Tyreek money.
Yeah, that's what he wants. You know that. So then you got that to deal with. Then you got, well, what about T. Higgins? He's going to want something close to that. He wants Jefferson money. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to want number 2 money at least.
Yeah, he's going to want number 2 money.
High number 2.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's going to want high number 2. Mixon is going to be a running back. You got to continue to pay him. And then remember, you still got P. Ryan. You got to pay him too.
Yep, and they just paid their O line last year, so
Yep,
that was kind of their investment for this year,
for
and
this
now
year.
it's just kind of
Now
we'll
what you're
see.
going to do, and then let's face it, then you got to pay Burrow. Now the question is he going to be smart like Mahomes and Josh Allen did? Like Mahomes, everybody talks about, oh well, he took 500 million. That his deal was so team friendly, it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he gave him like 5 years to
Yeah, it
like
was it
pretty
was
much
it was not. I
screw
mean,
around,
yeah, just go ahead and let's give me. Don't worry about paying me.
and then he'll be the highest paid in like 5 years. But for 5 years, they pretty much just have room to just mess around. They
Yeah,
don't really care.
and that's what he said. Hey, give me wins. you know,
Yeah, he's
and
like, give
then
me 3 rings, and then I'll just
give
get paid later. We can
yeah,
figure this
but
out later.
and he plus he's like, I'm gonna make my money off the field.
Yeah, and then I think Kelsey has restructured his contract 2 or 3 times now.
Yep.
He just keeps on taking like a big old pay, like they'll just give him like a chunk of change, and then he just goes on for like 5 million or something.
Right, and that's what they do. I mean, and that's like the same thing is going to happen to Mahomes. Like I told him, I said, Mahomes is going to get every single penny of that 500 million or 450 million.
Yeah,
I can promise
he's
you.
gonna get more than that.
But I'm just saying. And then remember, they've got to pay him again one more time. Okay.
Yeah, before he retires, he'll get
He'll get another contract. He'll get one more
He's got
paycheck.
one more payday.
Yeah, one because then
Jeez.
he'll be. What will he be at the end of the first one? 33, 34? He'll be 34, 35.
Yeah, I think
on
he'll be
this
34.
contract.
He'll be 34. Yeah, I think he'll be 34.
Yeah, he'll be 34, at the end of this one. So you're going to have to pay him another 4 or 5 years after that. So he's going to get another, he'll get another 200 million or 300 million or whatever the number is going to be at that. But anyway, we got to go through the scores here pretty quickly. We got a way off. Broncos and Colts. I tell you what, the big defensive lineman coming up there saying, and Russell was like, he just saying, hey, man, let's go. You need to go. Yeah, I'm sure he said that. I think he said it differently. Like, come on, MF, we did our deal. You step up and do what you're getting paid to do or something like that. Cause,
that was interesting.
Yeah, and he just tried to downplay it. But to me, they need a new coach. Hackett wasn't it. But they got Hackett because they thought they're going to get Aaron.
Yeah,
that's why they did that. And then when that didn't work, they had to go find somebody. So they got nervous and just went out and overpaid. For Russell.
They sold the farm for
Russell. Well, that's what they did. But you got to go get a deal. And then me coming in, head coach, go, okay. First of all, you don't get a parking place. You just like everybody else. First of all. Second of all, you no longer have an office in this building. You're a quarterback. Your office is the quarterback, the team meeting room. First of all, that stuff's going away. We're not giving you any of that. That you're not getting a room. You're not getting, 5 or 6 parking places. You'll be just like, oh, now I don't mind giving you one because Tony Gonzalez. I don't know if you remember this. He had a parking place at the Chiefs. The new coach comes in and takes away Tony Gonzalez's parking spot. I don't know if you knew
really?
that. Yeah, he came in
Nope.
and he wasn't the coach. I think he's only coached there for 2 years or whatever, but he took away Tony Gonzalez's parking spot that he had. So I thought that was interesting. But anyway, that needs to happen. The Dolphins, 30-15. We're going to see how good they are because they've got to go to San Francisco this weekend. So we'll see who the Dolphins
That game is
really
going to be
are.
awesome.
Yeah, we're going to see who Tua really is. We'll find out. Against that defense, yeah, we'll see what happens. Bears, man, the Jets, poor Zach Wilson. Did you see him on the sidelines yesterday? He had had the hoodie on, trying to stay dry with the look on his face.
Oh man,
He doesn't even dress
poor
up.
Zach Wilson.
Well, I'm just saying, poor Zach. I mean, you're such
dude.
Yeah, that's karma.
That's a bad look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bad. Falcons and the Commanders. The Commanders can continue to win, brother. Continue to win. Now, he is Taylor Heineke, but he's the best quarterback for their team. Clearly,
he's the legend.
Yeah,
that guy's so awesome
for them. He's still not. He's still an average quarterback.
Yes.
Bucks, Browns. How about that? Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brisket, keeping him in it.
Well, he's done now because
man.
Big Fella starts next week. We get to see Deshaun Sunday.
Yeah,
remember that? Yeah, he plays. So we can see him Sunday.
That's a weird dynamic over there because
I thought it was funny is that they didn't bring him back to play against Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either.
I think that's funny.
But yeah, the Browns are 4-7. You think they got enough time to change that thing around? Because the other teams are 7-4. That's 3 wins.
Well, they're done this year. I think the Browns thought they would be at least
500,
6-5, 5-6, 6-5 at least. And let's face it, they lost a couple games they should not have lost. Okay.
Correct.
I mean, let's face it. They should not have lost to the Panthers. That was BS. Or no, they beat the Panthers. They beat the Panthers. I forget what games. I had to go back and think about that. But there was 2 games I know they lost. They shouldn't have.
Hmm.
And the Ravens.
I couldn't believe that game. That game, I was upset with that one. That
I'm
was
like,
one of those ones
wow.
that hurt.
I'm like, wow. And you
That one
got, but you
hurts.
know what? You're fumbling on your own 6-yard line. You know what I mean?
You deserve to lose.
You deserve to lose. And then, thank God the Raiders came back. Geno Smith is coming down to earth. People get enough tape on him.
No.
Yeah, Geno's Pizza is getting ready to close. It closed early, by the way, this week. There's an early signing. They're running out of pizza and food. They don't have enough to serve
No.
everybody the whole time. And then, of course, the Chargers and Kyler. Kyler just needs to keep his mouth shut, man. And I think he's probably a little payback to them for all the stuff that he's gone through with them. They're putting that in his contract, leaking that out, doing all that, embarrassing him. I think he's giving them a little payback now about that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think he's giving them a little payback now. So, but he needs to keep that stuff in the locker room. That's kind of what I think. In National League Hockey, brother, last night, not a lot of games, Ben.
No, not too much. But of course, every single one of them are on TV. And when they have 5 games, they put every single one of them on TV. When we got 10 games, they decide not to put it.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Well,
Great.
yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, the Wild beat the Coyotes 4-3 last night. Or
Yep,
yesterday.
the Yotes are going to start beating that beat-up team. They're going to be those need-to-win games. Those ones that, you need those 2 points at the end of the year, so you better start beating them. So they're going to start, taking the brunt of a lot of these battles.
Yeah, and then, dude, the Jets, 7 goals. That is so hard in hockey to do.
I know. That they scored more than the Jets did the other week. Yeah, but they had good depth scoring there. They had 5 guys with over 2 points. Their big line was just rolling. And the Blackhawks, they're going to start selling their guys. They're longtime heroes, Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane. Both these guys, they make a ton of money. They both got paychecks off of this. Look for them to get moved this year. They're going to probably be on the market, and I imagine them going to some big name teams that have just a little bit of money. And those guys, they're massive for all their cup runs back in the day.
Yep, I agree with that. The Kraken beat the Ducks, the mighty Ducks,
Kraken.
the
I'm telling
unmighty
you,
Ducks.
it's your Kraken. These Kraken are your boys. 5-4, they're climbing that leaderboard up. They're going to keep going.
No, my stars are my boys, in fact. And they play those Blues tonight, but we'll get to that in a minute. The Canucks, 4-3 over the Sharks in OT.
Yep, Canucks had a good little game last night. I was pretty shocked just because the Sharks put on 36 shots on them. So that's usually anything over 30 is usually a ton of shots. So their goalie handled it well. He's a young guy, Demko. So we'll see if he can hold on. But neither of those 2 teams excite me at all, really.
Senators OT over the Kings.
Yep, fine. I mean, the Kings got another point. Like I've been telling you, they're going to take that spot from the Oilers, I believe. So that point was huge. But Claude Giroux, one of their big for the Senators, one of their big assets they signed this year. He got the overtime winner. It was a beautiful goal. But yeah, that game was pretty good just because it was nail biter.
Yeah, it was. And OT, that was a great win. I thought, man,
Yes,
they
sir.
needed that one. Yes, it was. Now, we talk about the World Cup. Did you watch any of it?
Yep, I watched a lot this morning, and then I didn't get to watch much yesterday. But yeah, I got like a little bit of stuff over here. I don't know if you got to watch that Korea game earlier against
Yes,
Ghana.
South Korea. Yeah, I did.
That was a freaking awesome game. Ghana was up 2-0. Then Korea came back, tied it up, and then Ghana took the lead with, I think, in like the 78th minute. They just parked the bus and they held on.
Yeah, Ghana. Yeah, when I was watching it, I tell you what, I was just like, man, dude, it's crazy. The way that things are and the way things are going right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and then of course in the standings, in World Cup standings, man, I got all 8 groups out here. Netherlands are winning theirs. They're up 4 points to tie with Ecuador with 4, and then of course tomorrow all the stuff really begins. You know what I'm saying? When you look at what happens tomorrow, tomorrow we'll go over it further. But Ecuador and Senegal play each other, and then the Netherlands has Qatar. So if anybody has, the Ecuador Senegal game is basically going to decide which one of them goes.
Yep. And the Netherlands just need a draw or better.
Yeah, just need to draw better. And then, of course, in Group B, Iran and the USA. USA must win. I mean,
Yep.
it's
When you're in.
when you're
When
in.
you're
That's
in.
it. And let's
So,
face it, if Wales hadn't got the red card and were down a
yep.
man, then they probably would have beaten Iran. But it is
I'm
what it
with you.
is. But USA can't think about that. They just got to be aggressive and score because they've got to score. They can't. A tie just does not. A draw does not get us in. So Iran is over us with the win. And then Wales, England. Man, I think England's going to handle their business with
They,
Wales.
I think they don't have it doesn't matter. They can lose that game technically and still
Still
go in,
go
I
in.
believe, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
yeah. Well, they are
They just
one.
need a USA win if I'm
Yeah,
not
if
mistaken.
USA wins, they're in, no
Yeah.
matter what. If USA loses or ties, and then it depends because if
Then
USA
they have to
ties,
win.
well, USA ties, we have three. Then they can't lose. If they just tie, then if Iran and excuse me, Iran has 3 points. We have 2 points. If we and Iran tie, we each have. Iran has four. We have three at that point.
Yep.
And
Then
then
we're
if
out.
Wales
Yeah.
wins, then Wales and England are in. That's how that works. But we just got to win. That's all we do. If we win, we get 5 points, and no matter what, nobody can
Oh,
overtake us.
I love tournament play. Reminds
Yep,
me of when I was a kid. You go look at the board, you're like, oh man, they won by 30. We got to go beat this team by 35 right
yep,
now.
yep.
Boom.
And it is what it is. I mean, yeah. I mean, like when you look at tiebreakers, like in basketball, it's 15 points. It's no matter how many somebody beats somebody, it's 15 points. So you got to win by 15. So you got to go boom. Okay, we know we got to beat this team by 15, and then head to head, we've got to
That's it.
beat this other guy.
Man,
So
that tournament play is so fun.
yep,
It's so
yep.
fun.
And then of course, and so then that's tomorrow. So we'll talk more about tomorrow. And then of course, Wednesday, huge matches, Tunisia and France. Man, I tell you what, the French, boy, I tell you what, Ben, I thought it was going to be closer than what it has been, but it really, I mean, let's face it, they've been kicking their butt. I mean, France is. I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to have a little downslide, but they haven't. I mean, they absolutely haven't. They've been on it.
And honestly, their play is beautiful to watch. Like that's like the soccer you want to watch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of there's like a little bit of difference sometimes. Like when you're watching MLS and stuff. But watching this French team, they're so freaking talented. They're so good. I'm so surprised that they haven't just blown out some of these teams after watching them. But I really think that honestly, the whole continent of Africa as a whole, I think that all of their teams, I think they have 5 representatives.
Yeah,
I think they've
Morocco,
outdone.
them, Ghana.
Yep, I think they've outdone their entire like every single team. I think is like overperformed for what going into the tournament was going to look like. So I like all these African teams are just looking great right now.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
like they don't quit, they don't stop. Like the because different countries they play the ball different way. Like some guys like to stop and just kind of they'll wait for a draw. They don't care. These African teams, they're feisty. They want to go. They want to go win. Like they don't care if it's tied. They're gonna go. Like they keep pushing. It's a fun way of soccer to watch. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, my guy Nick, he's a huge Ghana fan. He and I were talking about that, how we wanted to see them possibly go forward. So we're huge Ghana fans. I just like Ghana, and I love African deals. And Morocco, they're playing well. I mean, tomorrow, and by Thursday we know who's in.
Yep.
By Thursday, we'll
Yep.
know
We
who's
should.
playing
Yeah, we
who's
should know a
Sweet
lot more
16.
by tomorrow.
Yep. Well, tomorrow we'll know kind of half the side, and then by Thursday we'll know the other side because everybody would have played by then. All
Yep.
saying everybody played 3 games by then. Start tomorrow, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll know exactly who's going to be what because all the groups would have played by then. So we should know more or less who's going to do what, when, and how by then. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. In fact, let me see. Let me look over that real quick. Yeah, Thursday. Oh, wait a minute. Friday. I'm sorry. Friday we'll know because tomorrow is Group A and B. Wednesdays is Group C and D. Thursday is F, E, and F. And then Friday, what should be the final, is Groups G and H on Friday. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, Cameroon and Brazil Boy, I tell you what, Brazil, man, oh man, oh man, they
No
looked good too.
Neymar. They barely snuck that game out.
Yeah, they did. No Neymar, he was out, but
They won one today. They won 1-0 today.
yep, 1-0 today.
And
Yeah,
then
no, they
I don't
won
know if
2-0
you saw
today.
Did you see the finish up on the Portugal game? Portugal won 2-0 over Uruguay. Just ended.
Yeah, just
I don't
saw
know,
it. Yeah, over
10 minutes ago. Yeah, they had a penalty in like the 88th minute to make it 2-0. 88th
2-0.
minute, something like that.
Dude, how about them? The goalkeeper almost giving the game away after the first game. Did you see that?
Yes, I could not believe that. I like literally stood out of my chair about dropped my computer. It was
Me too.
it
I'm
was
just
like,
like,
holy,
dude, you didn't look behind you to see where the
not
guy
one time.
was?
Read the room.
Boy, he got lucky right there. You see Ronaldo, Ronaldo was over there going, oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
What the, are you serious right now? I'm over here, I'm
Yeah.
out of the game because I'm thinking we got it, and you almost give it away in the 90th minute. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Oh
Crazy,
man.
crazy. Man, good times, boy. I tell you what, it's going to be
Yes,
some
sir.
good sports coming up. And this weekend, we've got all the championship games. Tomorrow, we've got to go over all of our new power rankings, your hockey power rankings, basketball power rankings. We're going to be going over the USA and who's won thus far in soccer. We've got the upcoming NFL schedule, which this weekend NFL, I don't know if you've seen the games. Dolphins at Bills, Chiefs at the Bengals. Man,
There's gonna be some good
yeah,
football.
it's going to be some good football this coming weekend. And on top of that, Monday night tonight, who do you like? You took the Colts in the -2.5, didn't you? Is that what you took?
Yeah. If
Or did you take the Steelers?
you got to take one. I got to take the Colts on this one. I think they got too much talent. I'm pretty sure T.J. Watt will be playing again.
Yeah, he's playing back. They got everybody back.
Yeah, so he should. That'll definitely change some things. But I think if the Colts run 5 plays and they do those 5 plays the right way, I think they got this game in the bag.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well their offense is going to survive
You know
against
what I
their
mean?
defense.
Remember the Titans style. We
No, I
got
don't
5
remember
plays.
that. No, I don't remember
just
that.
takes a while,
No,
but they work.
no. That was back in the 50s and 60s when it was the
Jonathan
blacks
Taylor,
against
him the ball.
that was the
Give
blacks
that man
against
the
the
ball.
whites. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers and their defense. Yeah, I'm not going for that.
Give Jonathan Taylor the ball.
I'm not
Keep
going for
doing
that, man. I'm not going for it. But good try. You're a mess, man. All right, brother. Well, hey, Manana, I'll call you tomorrow. You remember you guys send me that stuff when you get a chance while you're sitting around there.
Yeah. I'll get it over to you.
Yeah, send us email that stuff to me so we can look at it and see what we're gonna do with that. All right, brother.
All right, brother.
I appreciate
Sounds
you.
good.
All right, tell
I'll
Kai.
talk to you soon. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Tell Kai I said hello.
Will do.
All right, brother. It's my guy Ben Dillman, our National League hockey expert. Appreciate him, and also soccer aficionado and doing some football. So doing a little double duty, kind of helping our boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. Go Cowboys. Not here to say that other word, are you here, Drew? Yes, sir. Got you on that, homie. Anyway, get better, brother. Like I said, everybody have a good time out there today. Enjoy.